Oh, well, we were in the Philippines, in Cebu, practicing getting ready for the invasion.
Right. What year was that?
That was in, let's see, 45. I was in the 77th Division. I was a replacement, and we were getting ready to invade Japan, and then they dropped the atomic bombs. So then I didn't have enough points to come home with the division. There was only 13 men left that went overseas with the division, and they were all wounded a couple times. And so we were shipped on. We were at Haneda between Tokyo and Yokohama. We lived in Quonset huts there. Then one night, after we were at chow, and the cook said, "Why, there's a lot of hamburgers here. Why, take them along." So I took one and put it in my mess kit. Then I was walking back to the area, and this old Japanese man put his hands on it. It gets to me when I think of it. And I gave him this hamburger, and he got down on his hands and knees and cried. He was that hungry. And I helped him up, and I put my arm around him. I don't think he could understand me. And then when I talked to him, but he was really, really hungry. That really got to me.
What would you say to that man if you could talk to him today, if he was here?
Oh, I don't know what I'd say to him. I'd say, boy, you people really had it bad.
All right.
I don't know where to start.
You start wherever you want. Tell us about the time when you met the Japanese.
Tell me where you were and what year. When I was over in
Well, maybe I should start. I was in the replacement in the 77th Division.
Right. The 77th Division of the Army.
Yes, and
You were stationed in. I'll go where?
No, it's fine.
No, maybe he can do better if I. Just
Oh.
like he's talking to you.
Okay.
It's not.
It doesn't matter. You can you can start and stop as much as you want. I can fix it later.
Oh.
I was in the 77th Division. I was a replacement, and we were getting ready to invade Japan, and then they dropped the atomic bombs. So then I didn't have enough points to come home with the division. There was only 13 men left that went overseas with the division, and they were all wounded a couple times. So then they transferred us. We had our choice between volunteering for the 11th Airborne, the paratroopers, or then the rumor was going around about we were going into the Air Corps. And my very good buddy, he joined the 11th Airborne. And so we were shipped on. We were at Haneda between Tokyo and Yokohama. Now, there's a big airfield there now. I don't know the name of it. But anyway, then we lived in Quonset huts there. Then one night, after we were at chow, and the cook said, "Why, there's a lot of hamburgers here. Why, take them along." So I took one and put it in my mess kit.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was walking back to the area, and this old Japanese man put his hands on it. It gets to me when I think of it. And I gave him this hamburger, and he got down on his hands and knees and cried. He was that hungry. And I helped him up, and I put my arm around him. I don't think he could understand me. And then when I talked to him, but he was really, really hungry. That really got to me. And when I guess the Japanese had us their propaganda that we looked like devils, but then when they started to shoot down the B-29s, they knew how the Americans looked. And then they really went wild over the Americans, the women.
Right.
They really got to like them. And I guess
They
some
start
of
coming
the
after, yeah.
ones that were very intelligent, I think they were movie stars, some of them, and they married GIs.
Yeah.
I guess to get back to the States with us.
Why do you think that guy that you gave the hamburger to, why do you think he was so hungry? Was he had no home?
No, I don't know anything, but they didn't
couldn't
have
talk
that much
good, he
to
couldn't
eat.
understand it.
They didn't have that much to eat.
Now, I was working at the railhead down at Kawasaki, and one day these workers, all they gave them, they gave them 2 onions.
Right.
I felt so sorry for them, and
you probably had a lot of food compared to them.
Oh, yes.
Right.
And we were unloading a lot of food from I forget where it went, and we got back early one day, and this Jap man was walking away, had a big basket hanging on his back. So I don't know who went after him, one of my buddies, I guess, and here he had canned goods that he had taken. Beans we weren't there. Maybe the workers gave them to him.
Right. He nabbed a few, right.
So the boss, the Japanese, well, I guess they'd call the store boss. And anyway, he was gonna push his head, but bang it on this steel ingots that were laying there.
Why?
And, well, he was angry, and I quick stopped him. I said, no, don't let him go. He's hungry.
Okay.
So then my buddy Clooney, he was on the police force in New Orleans in civilian life. So he said, I'm going to scare him. So they took him in the truck, and he said, I'm going to take him down to the police station. And this man... he was then when he came back, he brought him back, and he said he was really afraid. He was crying, so he said, I thought, well, I'm not going to turn him in.
Right.
Because they said the Japanese cops were very ugly to the regular civilians.
Right.
And the one said to me that if they didn't like the way they bowed to them, that they'd start working them over.
Right.
They must have been son of a bitches. I shouldn't use the word, but maybe I should say they was son of a peach basket full of potatoes. And
that's better.
But that's how we thought.
What did when you gave that guy the food, did he teach you some words, or did he say thank you to you, or what?
No, he was a stranger. He was in the area where we lived.
Okay.
And I don't know where he went then. Well, I went to the Quantum hut, and I don't know.
Right.
He walked away. I guess I don't know where he was going. If he had a home, I really don't know.
That's okay.
Well, you couldn't talk that much. You couldn't. What do you say?
Yes.
Right. And communicate.
Communicate.
And I know the Japanese young children were eating our garbage.
Oh my gosh.
So then in the beginning, we didn't eat. We threw the coffee. We had some left and some food, but little bit.
Right.
But then in the end, we separated it.
Right.
And these little kids used to line up. They had a tin can with a piece of wire on, and then they let them dip in there
Right.
and take our garbage to eat.
Oh my gosh.
I tell you, it was bad.
Bad times. Well, I think you did.
And then one day, the cook, I don't know if he was the cook or anyway, he worked in the kitchen, and he made a paddle. And then one day, he had this and he hit the little kid over the rear end. So a big guy, he grabbed him and he said, "You son of a pea." He said, "If you do that again," he said, "I'm going to pick you up and stuff you in that garbage can." So he put the paddle away and he never was there anymore.
That's probably good if those kids were just there to get their
you
leftovers.
think how they're hungry. Now, we were used to having a lot of food.
Right.
He said on a Sunday there was a lot of food there left.
And
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people didn't experience that they seen them eating our garbage. That would really get to you.
That's a
That
really
was
bad thing to
terrible for
imagine.
those people.
Well, you did your part by helping maybe
Well,
make them see that
yes, and
Americans weren't as bad as they thought.
Yes, and I guess the Japanese used most of the food for their soldiers.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. They were fighting off the
Yeah.
invasion, and their regular people were going hungry at that time.
Yes,
No wonder they were coming to you guys for some food.
yes.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, well, see, it was 3 years ago, October the 3rd, that they did this surgery on my tongue. I had cancer. And thank goodness the doctor, he took a little more, and he said maybe I wouldn't need your radium treatment. And I said, "Oh, I'm so glad about that. He saved my life."
Right. Good. Tell me what year it was and where you were deployed before you went to Japan and the order of events leading up to that story. What year was that?
Oh, well, we were in the Philippines, in Cebu, practicing getting ready for the invasion.
Right. What year was that?
That was in, let's see, 45.
Right.
And I think the Japanese surrendered in August of 45. I'm not sure if it was the right date.
This was just before the surrender or shortly before Japanese surrendered?
Yes, that we were getting very ready for the invasion.
Right.
Okay. And
that was what island?
Yeah.
Which island was that happened on?
This was it. The Cebu was in the Philippines.
Oh, in the Philippines.
An island, yes, in the Philippines.
And the man that you met was in... When you met that man who you gave the hamburger to, where was that?
There.
That was there. I'm sorry, I'm just making sure I have it right. Yeah.
Oh.
The man that you met that you gave the hamburger to, was that in the Philippines?
No, that was in Japan.
Right.
I was in the occupation.
Right, okay, just making sure I have it right. Okay.
When we went in Hokkaido, well, they issued us in the Philippines heavy underwear, tops and bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
And then we said, when the hell are we going? So here we ended up in Hokkaido, Japan.
Okay.
And even some had put the underwear on before we got there. Now I could take the cold weather.
It wasn't cold at all?
Yeah.
It wasn't cold at all when
no,
you got
in
there?
the Philippines, oh my goodness, it was really hot.
Why do you think they gave you that underwear?
Yeah.
Why do you think they issued you heavy underwear?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, and it seemed strange, the convoy going up, you see, had lights lit.
Yeah.
You know, before it was all black out. Even though I don't know how close we were to islands, of going up through Japan, that you could see the lights in the distance.
Right. What would you say to that man if you could talk to him today, if he was here?
Oh, I don't know what I'd say to him. I'd say, boy, you people really had it bad. But that's the way they were brought up. They were really brainwashed, too.
Right. It was a tough time.
And our interpreter, down at Kawasaki. He could speak very good English. I had to repeat a lot of times because I spoke a lot of slang.
Right.
And he was really pleased with us, so he invited us. We went by train. We never had. We didn't have to pay to ride the train. We just walked on.
Right.
And anyway, we went down. I don't remember where it was, but anyway, we went to this island, and he said every year that it was a wooden boardwalk to get across, that it would wash away in the bad weather. But anyway, he had his daughter was serving us and another little girl, but we took K rations along. So then what we did, we gave these K rations to his daughter and the other little girl, and they were so pleased with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, they served us Japanese food, and I could eat anything. I didn't know what the heck some of it was.
Raw fish and things?
And then he got out a big bottle of sake. And boy, well, they heated that a little bit, and when you drink it, now to me it tasted something like turnip, but I think it was rice whiskey.
Right.
And,
was it pretty strong? Was it strong? Was it really strong?
No, I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
And he was surprised. I drank quite a bit. I guess he thought it was going to get a load on.
You said, I'm in the service. I can handle it.
He gets sick though if he drinks too much.
Well, it happens to the best of us. That happens to the best of us. That's good.
That's good. He said we should all pick out a souvenir. So I said to my buddies, holy hell, you must have spent a lot of money for this. I said, let's pick something that doesn't cost so much.
Right.
And he stopped us. He said, I want you to pick something nice in commemoration for this day.
Right.
Well, you brought swords and things, but
and then...
He doesn't have any left. He gave them all away.
That's good.
At Haneda, I was working there first in supply, and then we were getting a lot of equipment shipped in.
Right.
Then what was for us, I'd tell them to ship,
the shipmaster.
I was trying to think of the name of the railhead. Kamada. That's right. It was Kamada Railhead. So the interpreter there, we called him Henry, and he was from the United States. And I said to him one day, I used to give him cigarettes. Now this other GI from another place, I didn't even ask him where he was from. He treated him very bad, but I didn't treat him. I said to him, I said, I'll give you a cigarette if you want it. So then he'd smoke with me.
Right.
Then I said to him, he said when he was in the States, he had a big trucking outfit. And I said, Henry, why in the hell did you come over here? He said, Andy, I picked the wrong side. And I thought, and he said to me, now when you get back home, he said, when I get back to the States, he said, I'll give you a good job. You come out to California and you can work for me.
Boy, your life would have been different if
but
you
I never went.
Been in the movies.
But I'm so glad now I didn't, because I would have been out there and I would have never met my wife.
Yeah, and you would have never met, and she would have had, and you would have had her good health care advice all these years that she's been taking care of you. Yeah.
And now we're both going down.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens to all of us. I'm 33 and it's happening to me.
But anyway, we got it arranged that we can
how things turn out.
Yeah.
Well, I had a sister living in California, but then my brother-in-law died. I would have had a place to go.
Yeah.
But then she came back east, and
Yeah.
so I never
Sister-in-law.
went on.
What sister-in-law?
Helen.
That's your sister.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said sister-in-law.
Oh, I say sister-in-law. I made a mistake.
Helen.
It's okay.
I didn't
My
think that.
sister,
Yeah.
yes.
I thought that's what you meant. I thought it was by, though. I didn't know.
Yeah, my oldest sister it
Helen,
was.
yeah.
Yes. And then when I was on my way home, I was at the Repa Depot at Dama in Japan, and then I never went to see Henry.
Mhm.
And I don't know, I should have. I guess he felt, being that I never went back.
It was probably pretty busy at that
Yeah.
time.
But you know how it is when you're going home, you forget you're excited.
Yeah.
And
You were right to be excited.
yeah,
So,
and
Yeah.
different times on the bulletin board, where they put the list that you were going home. I mean, the different soldiers.
right.
So I used to go look at it, but my name wasn't on. So then my one buddy said to me, he said, "Hey, you better go read the list." He said, "Your name's on the list." I said, come on, I don't believe you. I said, "Quick, give me an oil job." So then I went over and began. My name was on the bottom.
Yeah, there you go.
And I left.
And you were out of there.
Yeah.
Tell them about the time you and were in.
Oh,
and you were looking each other up.
yes.
Just recently they were talking
Yes.
about the last 2 times Paul and Doris were up from Florida. They were talking.
My brother Paul was in the 27th Division. And the 77th and the 27th were on Okinawa. And then before we left Hokkaido, they brought some men up from 27th Division to put them in our outfit. And then I used to ask these different soldiers if they knew my brother Paul Snyder.
Right.
And they said no. Then the one said to me one day, he said, "Does your brother have any children?" I said, "Yes." I said,
3 boys. No, no, he can.
I said, I can.
Yeah. Well,
It's okay.
think something else.
I said, "Oh, I'm glad." I said, "I'll meet him when I get home."
And what happened?
Well, no, wait. Turn it off.
Gladly.
My brother Jim, he was on the Intrepid. Now,
Was that a boat? That's a ship.
yeah, the carrier that's over New York.
Okay.
And he told me different stories. He said when they were bombing Truk, the Japanese naval base in the Pacific, he said it was night, and here this plane came towards the carrier. So they thought it was a plane lost from another carrier. So they didn't shoot at him. This Japanese even blinked his lights to fool him. And anyway, he dropped a torpedo and he hit the Intrepid. And Jim said 10 seconds sooner it would have disabled it, and 10 seconds later it would have missed. I guess it hit near the fantail in the back.
Okay.
And he said 26 men were killed, and they lost, I guess, over $1 million worth of airplane parts.
Jeez. And
he said the ship really listed. And so he said then they...
but they weren't aware of it. Jim
yeah,
weren't aware of
oh
that
yes.
at first when they were done.
And then they pumped the ballast, and then they couldn't repair it,
Right.
so they
Where
came.
were they? Where were
Yeah.
they? Where were they when they got hit? Like how far off the coast?
Well, I don't know how far they were away from truck.
Uh-huh.
And anyway, they couldn't repair the pearl, so then they come back to Frisco.
Mm-hmm.
Now he enlisted, and he was going to school while they were building the carrier, and then I don't know how long he went to school. I don't remember the date he enlisted either, but I didn't enlist. I was drafted. Now, he told me other stories that the one time this kamikaze,
That time.
this was another time after truck.
Uh-huh.
I don't know where they were located, but he said he dove on the ship and he flew out of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I don't know if the bomb was a dud or not.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, the sailors, I won't tell you what they cut off of him, but as souvenirs. So then they over the intercom, they said, everybody turn everything in. We want to give him a burial. So then, and he had a parachute on.
Uh-huh.
And he said he had long black boots on.
Uh-huh.
And so what they done, they gave him a burial. Then they cut his parachute up and gave each sailor a little, it was an inch square.
Uh-huh.
I seen it. He showed it to me.
Uh-huh.
Then another time that when they were off Okinawa, he said they were about 50 miles away. And my brother Jim, he was down in the engine room.
Mm-hmm.
So he said 2 kamikazes dove in the ship. And it was really burning a lot, so they had orders to abandon ship. And the intercom system was out. They didn't know it. And then the men topside that knew it, they abandoned.
Uh-huh.
But they fought the fire and they put the fire on.
Get out of
They
here.
didn't know
Yeah.
they didn't know they were supposed to abandon.
And he said
And
Oh
you
my
said
he was down 3 decks,
Yeah.
and he said the deck above him, you could see the bulge
Yeah.
from the bomb
Oh my
that hit
God.
near him.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Very fortunate.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's called someone's looking out for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone's looking out for you when something like that
Turn
happens.
it off.